I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ask everybody please silence their cell phones for the remainder of the meeting. The emergency exits are located in the back of the room and to my right. If there's an emergency in the building, please use the stairs, not the elevators. If you need help, please get assistance from one of the commissioners here. We will start things off with introduction of commissioners, starting to my right.
Christopher Morlock.
Jay Hildreth.
Rick Metz.
Eileen Chabot.
Pamela Pearl.
Linda Comrie.
Elizabeth Carver, Land Manager.
And our council liaison to my right.
Charlie Foote.
And I'm the chair, Riccardo Buzzanga. We do have some absences tonight. Bob, Val, and Cheryl, who are all members, are absent. So I am going to ask, let's see, we'll do Chris. Can you sit for Bob?
Yes.
And Pam is going to sit for Val. And you're going to sit for Cheryl.
Sounds good.
You got that, Tammy? Okay. Okay, first order of business, the approval of minutes for our meeting of April 20th. I'll entertain a motion to that effect.
Move to approve minutes of April 20th, 2026.
Is there a second?
My second.
All right, so we have a first and a second on the approval of minutes of 4:20. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any
Abstain.
opposition? Okay, hold on. So, anyone opposed? No? And we have anyone abstaining?
Abstain.
Just one? So Eileen is abstaining. Okay, next we have the chair's report. Fairly busy week, busy couple of weeks. We executed the agricultural land lease agreement with the help of the town administrator. That's the first of its kind, and I'm excited that we're going to start papering all the deals that we have on the commission, and no more just kind of general agreements. So we did that. It's been signed by myself, by the gentleman that's going to be doing work in the cornfield over next to Broadview, and the town administrator. So that's done. We also got the draft conservation easement deed for the Ashley Drive property. This is not the conservation management plan, we'll call, that we have that we added a number of amendments to. That we have a year to develop that. So this is the conservation easement deed that DES, Wildlife, and the town have signed off on, and it looked fine. It was reviewed by the town attorney, so that's all done. And now we have a year to develop that next part. That's the one that has the compensation package in it and the who's responsible for what. So we're probably in a position now to start talking about the signage, Beth, on posting the property. So we'll probably bring that up at the next meeting. We're going to order some signs and get some signs posted on that property. I had my phone call with Beth and went through our priority list. We're moving forward on a lot of projects. The CWPP's kind of on the back, on the home stretch. It'll be wrapped up. I'm sure Beth will talk about it in her presentation. And we are continuing to have our meetings with Owen. We had one prior to this meeting today to integrate DerryCAM into everything that we do as a commission and let the people know about what we're doing. And Beth is also going to go over that stuff. As far as correspondence, there was none. So we will move right into community gardens. And Jay.
Yes, well, we've had a somewhat aggressive plan to try to be able to open up the gardens by Saturday, May 9th, where that would be an event for our gardeners, and which includes a demonstration of building a bed, staking out the plots, and having a plant exchange and light refreshments. I've worked really hard to get to that. There's a lot of factors and hurdles in purchasing the fertilizers. I have the potassium source in my garage at home. Success there. The manure is on the bed and been on the garden plot, and it's somewhat spread out. Beth had told me that the person doing the tractor, he probably can spread out what's there more than what human hands can do with a shovel and a wheelbarrow. So we're probably good for the manure. And tilling on Thursday. The last thing that stands out is the blood meal was challenging. Looking for sources online and telling me that it's free shipping, and then it wasn't. It was a mistake on their website. They called me and told me they've never had any free shipping. So I've been pursuing the actual manufacturer source. This place was out in New York, so now I'm going to Vermont, where the actual North Country fertilizer company exists, and they had the blood meal there for me, and it was more expensive than the other website I intended to purchase from. So I'm reducing the amount. I want to stick with the proposed and approved budget. I don't want to. What I'm going to ask our gardeners to do once we have everything together, the full picture, the full story, Beth will put out, an alert to the gardeners about the event. And many of them I don't think, even know that we're doing all this for them. And if there's new gardeners, they may not yet even appreciate that yet. So we have yet to educate them why this is a good thing for them. And so we'll have our event, go to Vermont, I'll get the bags of blood meal and get that spread to the garden, and we'll have the tractor doing the tilling on Thursday, and then Saturday we'll have the event. I also did soil testing. I did a composted manure testing, something we wanted to get, and I sent that in today. I also wanted to sample the garden of the farmer that provided this, my next door neighbor. His name's Manuel Cardoza. I want to thank him for all his hard work. And I wanted to submit the tests plus shipping in this packet right here.
So you need a motion for reimbursement on that? Is there a reimbursement on that one or no? Yeah.
Yes, that would be a reimbursement.
Okay.
Move to approve $97 for reimbursement for soil testing at Broadview Farms, taken out of the administrative budget.
Is there a second?
Second.
How many seconds?
I was going to second it, but she did.
We have a first and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Anything else, Jay?
That's it.
Okay, thank you, Jay. Next, we have personnel, Mr. Metz. And Mr. Metz, I do have a task. We need to look at when our two employees are up for their annual reviews. So maybe you
thinking of that
can
myself.
investigate that.
Yep.
Figure that out. Anything else on personnel?
Nope. They're still showing up, so.
Still here. Public outreach, Cheryl is absent tonight, so we're going to skip that report unless you want to chime in, Beth.
Linda actually is prepared to
Oh,
give
Linda.
that report. Yeah.
All right, Linda, go ahead. Thank you.
Sure. So we met a week and a half ago. It was really great. Cheryl and myself were able to have a really great conversation. really engaging the community. We now have double the followers on our social media, which is great. And we're getting between, I would say, 1,000 to 1,500 views on each post that we're putting out there, which just means that people are truly looking at what we're posting out there. And hopefully, with any luck, they're going to show up here, and for the iNaturalist, and we're going to post that. And we have our excellent viewer here already. But I think we want to engage more and bring more people in so that they can participate in the iNaturalist training, which is free to them. And now I know that we have a Zoom that's always the same. I'm going to make sure I post that. And 24 hours before our meetings, I'm going to post a trailhead. And make a little snippet, I guess, a little fun fact about that, and encourage them to join us as well.
That's great.
And
that sounds fantastic.
Just continuing to encourage people to participate in all these great trainings we have coming up to BioBlitz and so on.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Linda. I didn't know you were prepared to do that. That's fantastic. We talked with Owen prior to this meeting in our monthly, and we're going to on the grand opening for the public gardens, we're going to do that. We're going to publish that, but we're also going to invite. Is it Beth? You're going to actually run the kind of workshop on planting.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're going to invite people even that aren't part of the public garden group, just the public in general, if they want to attend the workshop on planting that Beth is going to run at that event. So we're going to do that. So maybe they can connect on that.
We're going to have to coordinate.
Yeah, we'll coordinate. That's fine.
Thank you, Linda.
Welcome.
Mr. Metz, TRC.
Nothing to report on TRC.
Next, we have Eileen Chabot with state compliance, if there's anything, Eileen.
Yes, I wanted to announce there's some trainings coming up. NHACC is having a series called Protecting Wetlands. It's a two-part series. The first part will be GIS tools for wetland identification. And the second part will be a wetlands identification field study. The field study will be backtrack here. The GIS tools will be on May 27th, 2026, and that will be on Zoom from 12 to 1:30. It will be presented on Zoom, so you could watch it from your home. The Wetlands ID field study will be an in-person workshop on Saturday, June 6th from 9 to 12 noon, and it's going to be held at Bow High School, 55 Falcon Way in Bow, New Hampshire. And you can register now for either workshop on the NHACC website. That's the New Hampshire Association of Conservation Commissions. Also, another training is coming up for trail maintenance and design on June 19th, and it's to sharpen your skills, trail skills with NHACC and the Appalachian Mountain Club. And that's going to be held on Friday, June 19th from 10 to 4 at the AMC Camp Dodge in Gorham, New Hampshire. And again, you could also, if you're interested, sign up and register on the NHACC website. And the other thing I have is, for people not familiar, the DES puts out a newsletter called the DES Municipal Eco-Link. And I caught in the April 2026 newsletter that I received recently, it was kind of interesting. We all know that there's shrinking landfill space, and, there's issues sometimes with transfer stations, so much is brought, and they're looking for new ways to recycle and such like that. And there's a public information session coming up that people may be interested in. There's a public session and hearing that's going to be held up in Concord for some proposed construction and operation of solid waste facilities in Londonderry. There's two companies that submitted proposals, Purpose Energy from Londonderry and Recycle Works from Londonderry. And that session is May 11th from 5:45 to 10 p.m. And you can find out more information and how to submit comments on the DES website. I thought that would be of interest. There's a lot in this newsletter. I'm not going to cover everything, but if you're interested at all, you can go to the DES website and look for the Municipal EcoLink newsletter. Okay? And that's all I have.
Thank you, Eileen. we need to change the name of the state compliance subcommittee to reflect all the information that Eileen provides at the meeting. So can you and Beth get together and add to the name of that? I think it should be state compliance and maybe
And training, maybe?
resources,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, educational resources
Yeah.
subcommittee, something like that. Because she comes with so much information that only she's privy to, or hard to get. So
Well,
let's
I'm trying to make sure everyone knows about it.
yeah.
It's
So
vibrant.
let's make sure that that subcommittee reflects, the information. So you guys come up with a cool name and let me know what it is. And as far as attending these workshops, if there's ever a cost involved in that, I just want the commissioners to know that the commission will reimburse you for the costs associated, whether you're an alternate or a regular member. If you want to attend one of those seminars, we'll reimburse you for the costs associated with that. Thank you, Eileen.
Yep.
Property management, we executed the hazard tree removal at one of our conservation properties with the supervision of Beth, and she'll tell you more about that in her report. That's the only thing I have on property maintenance, property management. Next, we had land maintenance, Bob Spoerl. I don't know if anyone else wants to bring that up.
Yeah, I can chime in on that. So we have our next meeting is scheduled for May 14th, where we're going to do our due diligence in looking into the backgrounds and all of the, legal deeds and all of those sorts of things with the properties that we have targeted to do some work on this year. So that's the Ball property, the Margaret Ives property, and Cole Marsh. So we'll be looking at those properties on May 14th.
Thank you, Beth.
Yeah.
Land acquisition, we are currently pursuing 2 conservation properties. We're going to discuss them briefly at a non-public after this meeting. We are also developing one of the bullet items that had high priority that Beth and I flagged recently is we're developing a mailer that it's going to be a boilerplate that we would send to a landowner describing the benefits of conservation and donating property to conservation. We're going to try to cite the actual advantages from a tax perspective in that letter, and Beth is working with the New Hampshire Association of Conservation Commissions on putting that letter together. So once we have that developed, we'll probably bring it to the body, and we'll use some boilerplate from them, and then we'll change it up a little bit for ourselves. And once that happens, I want to set up a pretty aggressive solicitation campaign on targeting some of the larger properties in Derry, notifying the landowners that we're interested in preserving as much property as we can. The next 2, reporting compliance and net zero task force, is Val, and Val couldn't make it tonight, so I don't think anyone has anything for either of those. No. Then we have Councillor Foote for a liaison report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you stated at the beginning of the meeting, the council last meeting accepted the easement at Ashley Drive. There was 1 no vote, and that was, full disclosure, that was me. I voted against it. And there was the contract approval. And tomorrow night is a big night in town. We have the adoption of the 27 budget. It's roughly $78 million, $77 million and some change. There'll be a couple of public hearings if people are interested, and that's in the water rate usage fees and the sewer usage fees. And that will be tomorrow night. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Great, thank you. All right, next up we have land manager report. Beth?
Yep. So the carpets are being replaced in the second floor of the municipal center here, including the carpeting in the area where we have all of the Conservation Commission files. So we're taking this as a chance to kind of tidy that area and clean house a bit. And then, let's see, the NHACC BioBlitz at Broadview. I met with Barbara Richter with the NHACC and Stephen Lamond with Moosewood Ecological, and we ironed out the final details of the BioBlitz. So the schedule for the day, it's going to be an 8 to 4 event, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and there will be 4 different sections. So there will be a bird walk from 8:30 to 9, and then a walk focused on trees, shrubs, and plants from 10:30 to 12, a walk focused on wetlands and vernal pools from 1 to 2, and then a walk focused on butterflies, bugs, and bees from 2:30 to 3. So that was just an exciting thing to get all of those details hammered out for the BioBlitz.
And the date again, Beth?
That is June 27th. Saturday, June 27th. We did send letters. So Val put together a list of the abutters for Broadview, so the people who live near Broadview, and I sent a letter to all of them that was mailed out the Friday before last. And then we've also reached out to the Boys and Girls Club, the local scout troops, the Red Star Twirlers, and the school board about this initiative to try to drum up some involvement in that way. And you are all encouraged to download the iNaturalist app before our June 1st workshop. So on June 1st, we're going to have a training on how to use iNaturalist, which is the main app that we'll use during the BioBlitz to gather all the information about the different species that we find. And then Owen, would you mind bringing up those? We have just some advertisements for those, this one's, yeah, perfect. So this will post at Broadview, in the kiosk there. So to get people to sign up, and there is a QR code sign up there. So there's a page, there's Nature Groupie is the website where it was recommended by Stephen Lamont to create an event on Nature Groupie, and that is run by the UNH Extension. And so there's a place where you can sign up, and if you scan the QR code, you can sign up there. And so that will be posted at Broadview. And then if any commissioners have any local places that they frequent and would like some color copies to post, at whatever your favorite coffee shop is or any place around town, just let me know and I can provide you copies. And then the other one, we want to get, we do want the public to attend the June 1st training, and that will be during our regular commission meeting. So it's 7 p.m. And so hopefully we can get some public involvement there, because the more they know about using iNaturalist, the more they'll be able to help us in the BioBlitz. All right, thank you, Owen. And you know what, since you have that up, I might as well. So we are going to send this letter to Jay's neighbor for thanking him for the gift of fertilizer. And I will get his, this is a draft clearly, but I'll get his name and address from you, and we'll send that out. Thank you. That is all. Appreciate it.
Nicely written.
And yeah, sorry, that is all for that stuff on the screen, and there's more. So as Rick mentioned, the tree, the dead tree at Corneliuson that was problematic has been felled, and that was done this morning. I did take some photos on site. And then also the week before last, I spread grass seed, a conservation grass seed mix on the path of the disturbed soil from the work that we had done, that DPW did for us at Corneliuson last year. I'm not seeing any germination so far as of like this morning, but there's grass down, so hopefully that'll help, fill in so that there won't be any invasives coming up in that disturbed soil. I sent a second communication to the Broadview abutter about that, about the no trespassing signs that were brought to our attention. And the lease for the cornfield is ready for the farmer to sign. The farmer hasn't signed it though. I just wanted to note that, so I do need that. And we are going to meet tomorrow to do that. And Jay mentioned everything about the community garden, and I want to just commend Jay has done a ton of work to make this happen. And thank you for all your work figuring out what we needed and then procuring the things. So all the gardeners are going to be very excited, myself included. The Community Wildfire Protection Plan, we have a meeting scheduled for this Thursday, and our goal is to have that draft ready to send to the fire chief so that he can review it before it's sent on to the town administrator and the town council. So that is wrapping up. And then for land acquisition, Rick already mentioned the process that we're starting with the letter that we'll be sending to landowners. And then we also were contacted by the town tax collector's office. They had some properties that the town owns, and someone was asking if they were available for sale. So they checked with us to see if those, if we were interested in those properties. They're at they're on Warner Hill Road and Eileen Ave. The one on Eileen Ave is near Rainbow Lake, and the one on Warner Hill Road is close to the Rockingham ATV trail. So they reached out to see if we were interested, and we responded back that we may be interested in pursuing those properties to conserve them. There is a prime wetland on the ones on Eileen Ave, and the ones on Warner Hill Road they abut another larger property that could potentially be good conservation land.
So they were trying to, just to chime in, Beth, so the town from time to time puts together a list that they send to auction. Usually they're parcels that are taken through tax, and they publish that list, and historically they've published a list, and then we found something on the list that we might be interested in. So this time it was nice that they emailed me and said, hey, here's the list, is there anything on here that is appealing? And we identified those particular properties. So we're going to figure out what it's going to take to pursue making them conservation properties.
That's all I got.
Sounds good.
Beth, on the lease, get a clean copy from Sheila to bring to the. Sheila will have a copy that has my signature on it and Mike's signature. Did you say you needed a copy of the lease to have the?
I do. She said that she was leaving it here for me to pick up and take for him.
Is there something there, Tammy? There is a yellow. Yeah, it's probably on Tammy's desk.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have one here, but I want to keep mine, so that's probably the one.
Yeah, perfect.
There we go. There
Thank
it is. Magic. Sheila's the most efficient person in the building.
She is.
Okay. Next meeting date is June 1st, and that is the date of our training. And it's the only meeting that we have in June, right? Oh, no, we have one. No, we have one.
This is the only May.
Yeah, we only have one in May.
Yeah, so I'm going to guess that meeting's going to probably be fairly busy, because I think we have some stuff in TRC that's going to show up for that meeting. And just everybody take a peek at those proposed meeting dates. I want to make sure that we definitely have a quorum at a minimum for all of those dates, because it's an abbreviated schedule, and I don't want to have to kick the can down the road if we don't have to on that stuff. Okay. So put those in your calendars and come if you can. Beth, how are we on Derry Fest?
We'll discuss that at the public outreach, at the next public outreach committee meeting.
Okay, but we're signed up and all that stuff.
We are not signed up, no.
Have they, do they have the sign-ups yet?
What's that?
I haven't seen anything yet. so-
Yeah, I can just add that to my list and sign us up this week. Does it cost money?
We're nonprofit.
I think it might be
So-
free for this kind of,
Nonprofits are no cost.
right.
Oh, I
We're
don't know
not a
about that.
nonprofit.
No,
So
no, we
are we meeting
paid. Yeah, we
on
paid.
Thursday?
Paid before?
Yeah, we paid.
Public outreach?
I have not, we don't have a date.
We don't have a date? We're not meeting this Thursday?
I just want to make sure it's on everyone's radar screen. I want to make sure that we're on that. It's on my hit list.
Yep.
And did we have a presence at Derby Day, or was that just the market?
No, we did not have a presence at Derby.
We talked about it, but we decided it wasn't,
Not our target
Something like
demographic.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Other business, I have none. Does any of the commissioners have anything that they need to talk about at the meeting? At this meeting? Jay?
I do, yes.
Yeah, what do you got?
I was thinking about bulletin boards. It was great to know that you're going to post the BioBlitz on the existing kiosk. And it would be great to see us using that more in the future. Some of the ideas I've had as like a QR code for our dairy, to the dairy websites and Facebook. And I've been concerned about ticks and
yeah.
Lyme disease in the broad view, that open field, and dogs, etc., and plenty of deer population. There's plenty of deer ticks, I'm sure, but to get more of an understanding maybe of what is the particular population in that area. This is just thinking out loud. But we can give warnings right away for people. I just see so many people who are oblivious to taking precautions to add repellents to their lower extremities, if not above 2, because they'll drop from trees. I've had the Lyme disease twice, so I have a real stake in the game.
Wow.
And thank God I'm just fine from that, but I wasn't always. And also the things, I would like to see another bulletin board eventually for our gardeners, and including a log, a communications log for our gardeners. We're trying to reach them online, but this is a way to actually have them be a little more organic on site. I've seen it when I've hiked, when I've gone to, lodges and all that in the middle of the mountains. Those communications logs are really awesome way to communicate with the same population of, hikers, the same population of gardeners, it's the equivalent. The other thing, I wanted to report about Broadview Annex. Been monitoring the amount of water since snow melt, and for about the last 2 weeks, the potential vernal pool number 1, which is right up against Young Road in the northern border, has been dried up. There's no water running. There's no water running in the rivulets to the culvert. When I think about the structure there, this has existed for quite a long time, seeing that the road are incorporated drainage and a culvert and drainage along the road going to the west towards whatever bodies of water are, near Beaver Lake, kind of disappears at the Chester Road. So I think we're in good position. Knowing that we are in a continued drought, the variations of water in a particular place could change a lot from year to year, especially with the rainfall variations. And the plan in place is to observe, but I really do recommend that we consider mowing a loop trail in the fall and work on, over the winter time, developing more signage, how we would let people have access to it. We have a solid gate with a lock, kind of tells people, don't go over there. They're not used to even thinking about that area. So I think over the winter we could, or even sooner, perhaps in the fall, we could think about how we would want to get some education and signage for that area. And that's it.
Thanks, Jay. I think we probably need to consider, actually, I don't think we should probably, because I think we're going to consider having a subcommittee for the Broadview Annex. Because, Jay, you've taken it up kind of on your own so far. So I think once you're pretty close to wrapped up. You got a couple of things you got to button up left on that. So once you have that buttoned up, I think we should get a subcommittee together with the chair and develop a plan for that annex.
Okay.
Hopefully you can chair it, Jay, because I know you're passionate about that property. But just to get you some help and get some more regular meetings on developing that property, getting some access on it and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was going to mention, I see so many birders coming through, and they're a little lost. There's a lot of them, and they don't know each other. I don't know how to do it, but it would be great to be able to link these people together as a community. Birders love to report what they see and share their places where they've seen different birds at different times. So this is just a thought, just because I keep seeing birders come across and walk across the
So why don't we?
Yeah, I think your idea of a community log is a great idea. If it could be weatherized, it like a sort of a book that would, has a metal cover so that you can open it. You can, you have something dangling down, a pen or something, so people can write, I was here on this date and this is what I saw, so a new birder comes along and he's like, wow, I'm going to be looking for that, I think that's a great idea to have that. And that would definitely start linking up people and getting them communicating. And the other thing I wanted to mention along those lines is the course that I'm involved with New Hampshire Audubon right now. They are going to be going out on a field trip at Broadview in June. So that's coming up. So that'll get a lot of birders onto our property. And hopefully we're going to see something exciting that day. I signed up for that one. I think it might be June 21st. I didn't bring the date with me. I should have, but yeah, I signed up to be there that day. So there's probably going to be about 20 to 25 people on that trip.
Nice. Maybe you can have the date for our next meeting. It's June 1st.
Yes,
so we'll have
I will.
some time.
Yep, I will.
So Beth, why don't we add to our list establishing a Broadview Farm Annex. And two of the things we should put on the list to do would be, first, we have to call it something other than the Broadview Farm Annex. So let's come up with a proper name for it. And secondly, to have a kiosk, and to have that kiosk have some sort of linkage where birders could communicate their findings. Whether it be a group or, I'm not sure if we can do a paper thing, Eileen. I feel like having a log with paper might be a little bit troublesome, but definitely.
Well, if you had, what they have that they use frequently is like it's a metal, sort of a metal notebook, if you will, and it stays, the paper stays covered by the metal,
Right.
okay, because it's kind of encased in metal, so you can open it, you can write something, but then you can cover it back up again. So it's pretty adaptable.
Yeah.
I bet Stephen Lamond would have some ideas of how we could incorporate that in the kiosk, because that is hopefully going to be part of the follow-up to the to the BioBlitz is, reimagining and the kiosk and setting up the kiosk with all of our findings from that day and that kind of thing. So that sounds like
Right.
it's
and
right in
there's-
there.
There's notebooks called Right as Rain, which are deliberately weatherized paper that no matter if it's raining, you're still able to write on it, and it stays as a permanent log. So that's something we could look at too. I think.
It's, experiencing life, we have our online presence, and a solution for the birding log online is fine, but there's still the place for paper.
Right.
Paper and writing and
Yep.
communicating with your handwriting.
Yep.
It's an experience and it's a way to share with other people that have, come your way and now are gone, that what they saw, it's
Definitely, because not everybody uses eBird or iNaturalist. Those are great tools, but not everybody uses them. There's some of us who are old-fashioned and want to be able to write into a log. So, yeah.
I'm not part of the birding community, but I'm sure they have a way of communicating. So just to tie it back up, we're going to do a subcommittee on that list. We're going to name it, put a kiosk up, and put whatever information or method of communication birders want to use as part of that kiosk. Does that sound good? Sounds like we're heading in the right direction. And Jay has volunteered to be chair of that subcommittee.
And see if we can get a scout troop or Eagle Scout to build the kiosk.
An Eagle
Once
Scout
we have it
to
planned.
do what with the kiosk? To
Build the kiosk.
Yeah, that would be a wonderful project for the Scouts.
Well, we have, the kiosk is built, so we do have a kiosk, yeah.
No, I'm talking about for the annex, the other side.
Annex, though.
Oh, a separate one for the other side. Yeah.
Because it's going to be called something else. We're gonna that's going to become its own conservation property.
Yeah.
The BFA.
So I have a possible resource for that.
Oh, good.
Eagle Scouts. So I'm going to reach out to my contact and see if they'd be willing to be part of. That's a great idea. Add that to my list. But also have them join the BioBlitz
Perfect.
as well.
Don't we have some scouts doing some work for us coming up, or did that already happen?
We have some scouts that we can call upon because they have,
They owe us, right?
yes, exactly.
Money in the bank.
All right, that's all I have, and we do have a non-public. Rick, you have something?
I have one item. Jay needs to drive to Bradford, Vermont to pick
that's
up
right.
some of the materials for the garden, so I would move to approve up to $40 for his gas money to get to Bradford and back, taken out of the administrative account.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a first and a second for up to $40 fuel reimbursement for Jay for going up to Vermont and picking up that stuff and bringing it back. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, so that passes. We'll give that over to Eileen. Any last items before we go into non-public? Seeing none?
Move to go into non-public per RSA 91A, paragraph 3, section 2, for the purpose of land acquisition.
Okay, Mr. Metz has made a motion. We need a second.
I'll second that.
Second by Councilor Chabot. I'm sorry, Commissioner Chabot. And we need a roll call vote on this. We're going to start to my right with Chris.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
And the chair votes yes. We need a second motion to invite, does the land manager want to attend?
Sure.
So we can, do we have to do them separately, or we can do them together?
Together, Charlie, too.
Yeah, so a second motion for the land manager and the council liaison.
Move to allow Beth Carver and Charlie Foote to attend the non-public.
Second?
We have a first and a second to invite our land manager and council liaison to the non-public meeting. It requires a roll call. I'll start to my right.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
And the chair votes yes. All right, so we are in non-public.